Hello and welcome to the fourth and final episode of our series, Everything a Founder Needs to Know about Shares and a Shareholders Agreement. So far in the past 3 episodes, we've talked extensively about shares. If you are just watching this video for the first time, please go back to my profile and watch the previous 3 episodes we've had. This is going to be the last episode, and on today's episode we are going to be focusing on shareholders agreement. We'll be defining what a shareholders agreement is all about. We'll be explaining or identifying the importance of a shareholders agreement and when your company should consider a shareholders agreement. So what's a shareholders agreement? A shareholders agreement is an agreement that defines the rights and obligations of shareholders of a company, as well as the responsibilities or obligations of a company towards the shareholders. Okay, so why is the shareholders agreement important? Now, before I explain this, the importance of a shareholders agreement, let me show something. So I have with me what we call the articles, memorandum and articles of association of a company. This is for a client we did a job for, and I'm going to be very careful because I don't want you to see everything, but basically this is what it looks like, right? When a company is incorporated, this is what it looks like, and as you can see, it's quite bulky, right? It's bulky. It's a very bulky kind of document. Okay, now interestingly, when you are incorporating a company in Nigeria, the memorandum and articles of association of a company is a mandatory document that must accompany your certificate. And the purpose of the memorandum and articles of association of a company is to explain, it contains, the object or the nature of business activity of the company. It explains what the company is all about, and it also contains some kind of bylaws or rules and regulations as it concerns the obligations of the company towards the members and that of the members towards the company. So it just defines the relationship between the company and members, that is shareholders and directors of a company. Now, back to my question, why is a shareholders agreement important? The interesting thing is that as bulky as this document is, it contains it addresses very few aspects of a shareholders relationship with the company. I've gone through this document, and there are only just 3 paragraphs or clauses that talks about shares in this bulky document. On the other hand, this is a shareholders agreement. I don't want to show you the front cover because this is a private document and it's quite confidential, right? So on the other hand, a shareholders agreement contains exhaustively, everything. It addresses every possible scenario that needs to be addressed as it concerns the shareholders of the company and their relationship towards the company, right? It addresses the rights and the obligations of shareholders. That is what the shareholders agreement is all about. This document will just contain everything that has to do with shareholders only and focus on it. Secondly, when it comes to a shareholders agreement, it is quite flexible. As changes occur, as the company continues to grow, changes will definitely happen. Either changes of the shareholders or transfer of shares, things could happen. And of course, for that to happen, that means that those changes will have to be reflected in the company's documents. And to reflect those changes, with a shareholders agreement, you can reflect those changes easily, right? It's a private contract that can easily be amended. However, in a company's memorandum and articles of association, you would have to do some kind of filing with the Corporate Affairs Commission to effect these changes, okay? So that is another reason why a shareholders agreement is quite important. The third reason is that the memorandum and articles of association of a company is a public document. there is no secrecy here. If I want to, or if a third party wants to find out or conduct a search about the company, I can get everything I want to get about this company, right? But with a shareholders agreement, the contents of this document is confidential. It is meant to be kept private between the parties and the company as well. Okay, so I think these are the 3 points. In summary, a shareholders agreement is important because the shareholders agreement contains in detail the rights, responsibilities of the shareholders amongst themselves and with the company itself. Secondly, it is flexible and cheaper to maintain and amend. In the event of changes, the cost of doing this is quite affordable, and it's also flexible, right? And then thirdly, there is the issue of confidentiality. So a shareholders agreement, the content of it is flexible, is confidential rather, and can be kept private as against a company's memorandum and articles of association. Now, the next point is, when should you consider, or when should your company consider having a shareholders agreement? And my response to that is that when the company is being formed, your company can have a shareholders agreement to complement the content of your memorandum and articles of association. Secondly, you can also have a shareholders agreement to also reflect changes, right? So as the company is going on, as the company exists, changes are happening. A shareholders agreement is also needed to reflect the changes that are being made in the company, especially as it concerns the shares and the shareholders of the company, right? So this is everything that we need to know about, in summary, about shares and the shareholders agreement. I hope I've been able to convince you in this video about the importance of having a shareholders agreement, especially when you're setting up your company and even after setting up your company. Now, if you have any questions, as usual, you can leave them in the comment section, and I look forward to seeing you again some other time. Bye-bye.